A couple of days ago, I was right here in my studio with my smartphone, my lights, and my microphone. I produced a video called Sound On. And what that segment dealt with were the sound options that you have to create videos for your social media platforms. It talked about lavalier mics and wireless mics. It talked about shotgun mics. What it didn't talk about was what you're going to need to connect them to your smartphone. So in this segment, which I call Let's Connect, we're going to discuss those necessary pieces so you can use a shotgun mic or whatever you choose for your social media video production. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ruben Villarreal. I am Border Mayor across all my social medias, and these are the videos, and this is the channel that are committed to the late adapter, helping you get a handle on things so you can make a big, strong presence and talk about your business, talk about your message, talk about your branding in that great big social media audience. So let's get started talking about the connections and the equipment that you might need to produce some pretty good sound and some pretty good videos for your social media platforms. Let's get started. We're at my desk and we're going to be talking about connecting microphones, sound devices, sound capturing devices to your smartphone. This is a part 2. Part 1 was called Sound On, and I showed you a bunch of different microphones. And this one, I'm going to show you how to connect those microphones to your smartphone. Once upon a time, I think all smartphones had an earphone jack. You remember those days? Well, if you have an iPhone, it's not the case anymore. So to get things started, where it all gets started is one of these adapters. This is a 3.5 to a Lightning, and what this does is pretty much create that same adapter you used to have when you had an earphone jack, and it all kind of starts from here. And this one's real simple. You connect it down here. These used to be included with your smartphone. I understand they're not included anymore, but this is kind of the basis of where it all gets started. Right here you have connect this, and everything kind of starts shooting out of here. Let's get started with the other connections that are going to be necessary depending on the microphone. The first microphone we're going to connect is this one right here. This is a lav mic or a lavalier mic, and if you remember in my Sound On video, this is one I recommended for late adapters because it's affordable and it's within anybody's reach and it's super easy to use. But I want you to concern yourself especially with this point right here. This point, yes, is going to connect over here to the connection, but I want you to take particular note of these 3 rings. 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. 3 lines, 3 rings. That's TRRS, but don't worry about that. Just worry about the 3 rings. Now, when you see those 3 rings, that means that it's pretty much adaptable to a smartphone. It's pretty much made for this application. So you basically do something like this to connect it, and you're ready to go. So again, 3 rings. When you see 3 rings on a microphone, that means that it's made for smartphone devices. I want to also note the 2 different types of lavalier since I'm here real quickly. This is the one I use. This is called a Panda mic, and it seems pretty straight up. It's just a wire to the microphone. I want to put this one up here so you can see how it's a little bit different. This is one that I think I started with. I think I bought it when I was just getting going with content creation. But look at this capsule right here. I want you to take note of this capsule. It has a switch here that says off or smartphone and camera. This is the one that you have to concern yourself with if you're going to be using it for your smartphone. It has to be on the smartphone setting. So that's one kind, and lots of other lavalier mics don't have that. They just have this. And again, 1, 2, 3. 3 rings means you connect it right here to your smartphone and you're good to go. The next microphone we're going to connect is this one. I call this one Mr. Multipurpose, meaning you can use it in a lot of applications. This is a Rode Micro Shotgun mic. Really good microphone. As a matter of fact, this is one I typically use, except right now I'm using my backup. My backup is a different brand. It's called the Movo. This microphone costs about $60. The Movo probably costs about $45. But in any case, let's get back to what we were discussing. Here we are with a tip. Everything is in the tip. Now, look at this one. It's different. If you recall, on the last one, we had 3 rings. This one has 1, 2 rings. See them? Well, that means this is a TRS. But don't concern yourself with the initials. Just say the 2 rings. Now, like we discussed, smartphones need to have 3 rings so you'll be able to get sound. It'll connect here, that's absolutely for sure, you can connect it, but if you do this, your microphone and your smartphone, you'll be mute, you have no sound. So you can't just simply connect it and think it's going to work. It's not going to work. So what do you do to make this tip fit into a smartphone? Well, you need an adapter, and it looks like that. This right here is a here. Well, let me pull up here. Here's the 3 rings we talked about. 1, 2, 3 rings. 3 rings means it's for your smartphone. And what you have on this end over here, on the opposite end, is the connection that's going to fit this tip. So the way you make it work, again, you have 2 rings, but you're going to connect this here. And the minute you do that, you have your 3 ring setup. 1, 2, 3 rings. That's going to work for your smartphone, and you do simply connect it just like this. And you're in business. One more time. Take it apart. Take it apart. Here it goes. 2 rings. That means it doesn't work for this. You need 3 rings. And the way you do that is you have this right here. I'm going to list the description of these connections. But here we go. You connect this here. You're going to connect this there. Now you're in business. Now you're going to get sound through your shotgun mic. I find myself laughing a little bit to myself here. This feels a lot like distance learning. This is what the kids are going through in school right now. In any case, next microphone is this. This is a wireless microphone. If you remember on my Sound On video, this is my least recommended option because of price, and you can do more with your money in some other capacities when you're getting started. But let's talk about, again, the all-important tip right here. Now, if you look at this carefully, you'll see the 2 rings, 1, 2 rings, which means that it's not made for a smartphone. When you see the 2 rings, it's made for cameras. A lot of these microphones, basically, that is what they're engineered for. But again, you're adapting them to your smartphone. So again, 2 rings means it's not going to work for your camera. You can connect this here, it'll fit, but it's not going to give you sound. So how do you fix that up? You go back to old reliable, this same connection from the shotgun mic. This right here will connect here with the 2 rings, and then leave you with the all-important 3 rings, which is a smartphone application. You have 1, 2, 3 rings. So not to repeat too awfully much, here we go. You connect this here, and then you connect this right here, and your wireless microphone is ready to go and give you sound for your smartphone. Let's wrap this up with a review. The first connection we gotta consider is this one right here, which is going to connect to your smartphone at the very bottom, and then everything shoots out of right there. Now the next microphone we discussed was a lavalier mic, which is this one, and it has 3 rings. Remember those rings? The second microphone we talked about was a shotgun mic, has 2 rings. The third one is the wireless option right here with 2 rings as well. And how do you make those 2 rings into 3 rings? You need this adapter right there. I need to stress that it's very important that you consider one of these sound options. The onboard mic that you have is workable, but you can do much better, and it's about giving people the full experience. Now, one last thing I'll tell you, if you're using these and in the middle of your production you want to listen to what you just recorded, you do have to disconnect it from here in order to give it sound so you can listen to what you just recorded. And that concludes our discussion of connections for your smartphone. So there you have it, a discussion about the connections and the connectors that you're going to need so you can use a shotgun mic like this for your video creations. Don't get overwhelmed. I know TRS. Go back and look at the video slowly. It's not a complicated process. Once you know the 2 lines versus the 3 lines and how it all works in the grand scheme of things, you'll be able to grab a shotgun mic or a lavalier mic and connect it to your smartphone like a pro. If you have any questions about anything you saw, about the connections, if you need more explanation, please reach out. Drop me a comment, send me a DM. I'm always willing to help out. Now, late adapters and everybody in between, I always say this is social media. So you all keep on grinding. We'll see you next time.